All right, Carl, so this is that 2017 Camry LE that you had inquired about. I did find it down here in the detail department. Before I go any further, I'll apologize ahead of time for any loud noises that we might hear in here. I typically don't do these videos in the detail department, but I promised you a video ASAP, so this is the way to do it. So I'm going to, I'll start with the exterior. I'll go all the way around. Look for any kind of dents, dings, scrapes, scratches, any of that. And then I'll show you the interior. So yeah, let's start with the front driver's side here. First thing I like to do is kind of look at the tires and rims. Those look good so far. Let's look here. All right, that looks good. Looks like at some point, I mean, it's super small, but it is there. It looks like somebody had put some touch-up paint on there a little bit. Let's look at the hood. I like to make sure there's no like paint chips in here or anything that you have to worry about rusting in the future. So far, so good there. All right. There's like a little tiny scuff right there. How about that? All right, and a little scuff on the wheel cover there. Yeah, it looks like this car is almost done in the detail department. They usually leave the exterior for last, like they'll do the interior and then they'll wash the exterior. So, we're not gonna, sell it to you with like bird waste on the side of it. But this here, I'm not sure what this is. This almost looks like, it's wet, dried paint from somebody driving over wet paint on the road. I don't know. Frankly, man, I'm not sure if that would come off or not. I'd like to think it would with a buff, but being that's not my area of expertise, I really wouldn't feel comfortable promising that to you unless I know for sure. All right, there's that wheel there. Tires look good. And again, some scuffs on the wheel cover. Probably the most common bit of cosmetic wear that we see. All right. This kind of would explain why the price is where it's at right now. So we always do price like cosmetic wear and tear into the cars. This bumper, it's definitely been like scraped here. That there. Doesn't look like it's transfer from another vehicle. It just looks like, frankly, it looks like maybe parking wasn't the previous owner's forte. You kind of see a little bit more on this side too. Now, like where it's black there and where the paint's gone, we could touch that up with some touch-up paint. But further than that, if this was the car you decide on, you might have to live with some of like the scratches there. Now, thankfully, it's on the bumper, which is plastic, so you don't have to worry about rusting there. But it's there, and you can consider it an eyesore for sure. But hey, that's why I like to do these videos before somebody drives an hour plus to the dealership. You know what I mean? All right, this side here looks good. Now this on the body side molding, that's why people get body side molding, because that would have otherwise been on the door. There's a little ding there. Another one right there too. All right. I'll tell you, for an 8 or 9 year old vehicle, I think if that's the worst we find, I think we're doing okay so far. But I mean, it would be your car, so you be the judge of that. Here is the interior here in the back seat. I always like to kind of give a little sniff in these cars to make sure it doesn't smell like cigarette smoke or something. But the interior smells fine. I'm not really seeing any kind of tears or rips or anything. There's a little bit of a stain right there. It's small, but it is there. The seat still feels like semi-damp from when they shampooed it. So that's probably just a stain that would not come out. All right, let's go to the driver's seat here. There we go there. And then, yeah, another staining there. Now, this looks like a stain that's coming out. They're probably going to do another run through with the shampooing on this seat. And then, what we got here? That all looks good there. Carpets look good. Looks like these are mats that, you know, for instance, you know, can fit right in here. All right. So I'm going to sit in this car. Hopefully don't get too wet from the wet seat. All right. You know what? This car does come with 2 keys. I did verify that. Let's just start this thing up. All right. Let's turn that down. I'll put it in reverse just so you can see the backup camera. There we go, nice and clear, very good. There's your odometer there, 48,901. So it's got about 49,000 miles on it. Like I said over the phone, just shy of 50. Don't worry about the gas gauge. If you buy it, we fill up the gas tank. We're not going to send you out of here on a half a tank of gas. All right. Yeah. This all looks good here, and it still needs some finishing touches in the detail department, but this one's close to being done. So if you decide this is the one you want, you know, we could have this one finished for you, you know, by the time you come in here to buy it. You know, you got the Bluetooth here also. It's the LE trim level, which is that's like the base model for the Camrys. So it's not going to have a ton of frills to it. Which usually isn't the reason people buy these cars anyway. They buy them because they last forever. You know, there's a climate control stuff there. You'd be able to figure all that out, although I'm happy to help you with it. You do have the Bluetooth on here. Other than that, it's pretty standard LE Camry here. I think it's in good condition. I might be exaggerating some of the stuff on the exterior, but let me turn the car off here. Put that back where I got it. But I think the rear bumper, that might be a deal breaker for you. And if it is, I get it. And then I do need to get some clarity on this. I thought this was just like road salt, but like I'm trying to like scrape that off of there and I can't. So I want to get some clarity on that. The bumper is what it is. You know, you have to be able to live with that if you want the car. But I'll have to get back to you ASAP as to whether or not, you know, this is going to come off. It doesn't feel like it's going to. It feels like if it comes off, it might mess up the paint. But I'll get some clarity from the detail manager as to what he thinks about that. Otherwise, man, I hope this video was helpful for you. Even if it helps rule out the car. Like, I get that too. If you haven't gathered this about me by now, like, I'm not the car salesman who's going to try to fast talk you or feel like you're being pressured into anything. It's your money and your decision. The car itself, mechanically, it's you know, it's a Camry with 49,000 miles on it and no really reported issues. So you should be absolutely good to go there if it's pragmatism that you're after. But you know, it's really going to be a matter of whether you can or can't live with some of the cosmetic stuff on the exterior. All right, man. Again, sorry for the lack of brevity on this video. Hope it was helpful for you, Carl. Thank you very much.